The greatest hedge against inflation is homeownership, right? Again, every year you're in your home, the value of a dollar goes down because of inflation. Your income goes up, so that home, that payment is just that much more affordable. Hi, my name is Danny Brown. I'm the CEO of Myriad Real Estate Group, and this is going to be our August market update. So right now, where we're at in the greater Phoenix area is the market is relatively slow. Not a lot of transactions are taking place. Part of that is seasonality, but part of that is also affordability. So mortgage rates still tend to be on the higher side, although they are trending down, and I think that is going to continue. As of this recording, we're hovering around the mid-6s, where for a lot of time this year we were north of 7%. So there's been a lot of relief for those buyers that are active in the real estate market because those mortgage rates have trended down, but we are very much below our seasonal average in terms of total closings that are taking place in the greater Phoenix area. So when prices are high for everything, that impacts housing because the cost of housing is high, interest rates are higher, and now a larger percentage of your income has to go to living expenses. And so when everything's more expensive, trying to keep your monthly payment on your housing expense at that 30%, which is the number that everybody strives for, is really hard to do. If your income is being stretched and it's more affordable to live in the area that you want to live in, and it's cheaper to rent than it is to own, then you're probably going to continue to rent that home. I think that's short-term thinking, is my opinion, because typically rent goes up every single year. So if your income is increasing 3 to 5%, but your rent is also increasing by that much, if not more, now the place that you're in is becoming less and less affordable. What I'm basically summarizing is that the greatest hedge against inflation is homeownership, right? Again, every year you're in your home, the value of a dollar goes down because of inflation. Your income goes up, so that home, that payment is just that much more affordable. Inflation does continue to cool, so it is still increasing, but we now are into the 2% range, which is what the Fed's goal is, getting to an even 2%. And the reason they're shooting for that is because that's what it's been for the last 10, 15 years. And so that tends to be what their goal is. And so now we finally have ventured into the high 2s for inflation. Unemployment rate has gone up. The number of available jobs across the country has come down. So all those indicators that the Fed is watching are going in the right direction for them to finally cut rates. We've been talking about this for years, I feel like. They're on an aggressive rate hiking cycle. They have paused for a very long time. And now we're finally seeing light at the end of the tunnel where the Fed is hopefully going to cut rates. What I think they're going to end up doing is cutting rates potentially up to 3 times, at minimum 2, starting in September. I don't think they're going to be huge cuts, probably 25 basis point cuts, but that will absolutely help bring mortgage rates down further. They've already been softening, so the Fed hasn't had to do anything. Just the idea of rate cuts coming has caused the market to soften. 10-year Treasury has come down, therefore mortgage rates are getting cheaper. That's a good thing. I think that trend will continue. So what can buyers do to take advantage of that? We'll get in the market. There is not a lot of buyer activity right now. Listings are up, although they are moderating. Part of this is seasonality for Greater Phoenix. July and August tend to be slow months for real estate just in general because it's hot as shit outside and nobody wants to see homes. Nobody wants to be in Phoenix. They're taking vacation. Once school starts and kids go back, that's when we start to see the market pick back up. So we are in this buyer opportunity window. In fact, I have anecdotal evidence of buyers that we've recently gotten under contract where we've negotiated $60,000 off the purchase price, 6% in concessions, $70,000 worth of repairs for new roofs and all kinds of things. So we are aggressively negotiating for our buyer clients to get them really good deals. And the reason that we can do that is because there's a lot of buyers who are playing a wait and see game where I want to see who's going to be in the White House come November. I want to see if rates continue to come down. So all those people sitting on the sidelines, if you are a savvy buyer, you can really take advantage of the market because you have choices and you're not competing with many people. So what can sellers expect in this environment is, well, they need to be very realistic in their pricing. In fact, if you're looking at stuff that's sold towards the beginning of the year or in the spring, you might need to actually price below those homes. So pricing where those homes sold at is not working in this environment. This doesn't mean that homes are losing value. This is more of a seasonality trend and happens every single year. We see a little bit of a give back in the summer months in Greater Phoenix from the appreciation that we were riding through the spring. It's not substantial, but if you're wanting to sell and you're wanting to sell quickly, you probably should be pricing below where homes similar to yours sold in April, May, and even June. And then recognize that buyers do have options. We are seeing a lot of cancellations right now. So buyers are canceling over repairs. So if you're a seller, be willing to do repairs. Offer credits to buyers in lieu of repairs. You got to be open to doing that. This is not a market where you hold all the cards. And buyers they're willing to pay the premium for good homes, but they're not willing to take on your deferred maintenance and those types of things. They want the home to be in good condition, well cared for, or for you to credit them so that they can take care of it once the closing happens. For the latter half of the year, what we're going to see is the market tends to pick up historically in September, October, and the first half of November. We see like a little mini boom of activity. Once we get to Thanksgiving, the focus really transitions into the holidays. And so there's a lot less homes for sale. A lot of people waiting until after the first of the year. Again, for buyers, that creates a buyer opportunity because the people who are selling are typically forced sellers. So that can be death, divorce, people relocating out of the state because of work, or just in situations where they have to sell. Or it's homes that didn't sell in the fall boom, so they might be open to larger conversations. So that's another buying opportunity. Then once we get past the first of the year, kind of mid-January, we see the spring market, in full effect. We see a lot more listings, a lot more buyers. Now the wild card is going to be rates. There are a ton of buyers sitting on the sidelines. The demand for housing has been very low over the last 2 years. So if that trend continues and mortgage rates get low, you could start to see those buyers return to the market. And when I say listings are up, it's not like it's crazy. We are still below where we should be for the size of our population. So inventory is still historically low, but demand for housing is probably, in all honesty, lower than what the supply is, but that could quickly change depending on what rates do. If you have any questions about the market, definitely let me know in the comments. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.